I'd like to welcome Andrew Bartzis and Olivia Valencia, and we're all going to have a jolly galactic time.
Absolutely.
So, where do you want to go?
Let's start with healing. Everybody can relate to healing. Healing comes when you express love to someone or love is expressed back to you. Healing affects us on many, many, many levels. What comes to us, pre-event, post-event, is always going to be related around healings. Whereas the tribes, the bloodlines, the good guys, the bad guys, depolarize and return to a neutral perspective and begin to heal the many, many, many thousands and millions of years of unpleasant things that happened so the children could grow up. Olivia, what do you see for healing from people? Where does it start? Does it start with us finding knowledge? Does it find with us co-creating love? What's the Olivia Valencia view of healing the rifts between people?
There's different aspects of it, but I would say the number one would be to heal yourself first. And to do that is, it's always good to write down your feelings, your emotions. And after you do that, write down the pros and the cons of it. And then write down the names, a list of names of those that have scarred you. And then carry that, like on a little book or something, or a piece of paper. Carry it around with you and actually express it within yourself and with nature to help you heal this pain you're going through and to understand why this person did this to you or you did this to this other person. And is it why you felt it in this life, and is it from another life too? Can you show me? Or if you can't show me, can you help me understand it? It will reveal it to you. It could be right there. It could be hours, days, maybe even months. And when it does, then you will know, and you will pick up that piece of paper and look at that name on that list and say, I'm going to just make up a name right now, John Doe. I'm ready to forgive you, and I release you in the name of love. And you will feel this big ball of energy just come out of you. And it'll bring you to tears of joy. And until you finish that list. For some of the names on that list, it'll be easy, and it'll just be written off, off your list really quickly. And I share this because that was one of my schoolings here, and I did this in my early 30s. I wrote my list, and I did all that. And once I finished it, there was still 2 on my list that I thought I finished, and then years later, I kind of ran into them, and a little piece was still there, and I went, gosh, I swear I thought I released it. And I go, you know what, maybe that little bit that I needed to release, I had to see you again. And we hugged, and it was tears of joy. And after that, I was released from everything.
Free to co-create.
Yes, and then
your abilities.
Yes, and then I had, after I did that, then I had to go and heal myself from those incarnations. And for a long time, these incarnations, I thought it was an aspect of myself. And in the end, I realized it was the aspect of the DNA that I incarnated of my ancestors that I was healing for them. And once I realized that, big old, like the halo of the sky opened up and said, you graduated on this level. And I just went, what? It was such a beautiful moment. And I go, I understand now.
She healed her bloodline.
Yeah.
All of the people that were spiritually contracted to her bloodline all felt that moment of healing too. Past, present, and future. That's what comes in all of the bloodlines here. But it requires people to have the faith in themselves in the healing process to do exactly what Olivia said, or to find another method in which you co-create this loving spirit.
Yes. So it's just showing you what I have done, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be whatever you feel resonates to you, that you feel that your journey needs to follow, then go for it. And when all that opened up, I saw every one of their faces like circling around me, of these ancestors.
JP, have you had any experiences like that?
No.
What about after your motorcycle accident?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think the accident itself, interestingly, you mentioned that is exactly, it was this weekend. I celebrate the 25th of January as instead of my birthday, I consider that as my death day. And on the 13th of February, when I woke up again 3 weeks later, that's my rebirth day. So I'm sort of weird like that. Anyway, that was the time when it really, that totally opened my heart up. And from a past life regression that I did again exactly last year with Rebecca. It brought me to an understanding of some of the things that went on there, some of the symbolic things that went on, about a past life experience that I'd had that was the result of my impatience and indulgence, let's say, that caused me to scupper myself for this lifetime at least. But that definitely, doing that healing thing, and that was just like the Quantum Leap TV program. I love that show, and it was very much like that kind of experience. That I was going back and doing something differently with my 21st century consciousness to a second century experience, and that certainly tidied things up. And I have recently spoken to one of the people in question, and their life has improved in the period of time since that. So yeah, okay, I have won. You win.
See, everyone does. You look at it with the right eyes.
Yeah.
Mine was when I learned Reiki. I'd already been a psychic for many years, but when I decided to be a hands-on healer, I went back and healed myself at an injured young child. And as I did that, I began to connect to the spiritual entities that were around me at that childhood age, and I was able to transfer their essence into my present age and connect to my DNA lineage and heal my DNA lineage, similar to Olivia's, but in a different sense, because I had been co-creating lifetimes in this family lineage for so long. It's how I pre-planned my lifetime thousands of years ahead of time, so that I could be here now, and the time lock of spiritual abilities is here, ready, in co-creating in the present, doing shows like this.
So, here's the thing. Here we are. Having planned thousands of lifetimes ago, aside, depending on which way you're looking at time, that we would be here now doing this. Having done that, is there some way? I mean, how do we then? Where do we go from here? Sort of thing.
This generation on this planet has to figure itself out and accept itself on a universal level, no longer as a nation-based level, and that's the challenge of this generation. And in this generation, you have babies and you have old people, all with a set of learned dogmas. And until we learn to ratchet down our polarity of positive, negative, begin to return to some central semblance of neutral observation, you're going to have a very tough time for this generation to break out of the programming. Truthers are that first wave The truth radio stations are that first wave of incredible energy that's speaking a truth that gets through the layer of programming and bullshit and allows people to go, I need to step back and look at this with a more neutral perception so I can go, yes, I resonate with that subject matter or I do not. And then learn from it and co-create with others with it so that it doesn't snuff itself out.